"Son," he said, "ye cannot in your present state understand eternity. When Anados looked through the door of the timeless, he brought no message back. But ye can get some likeness of it if ye say that both good and evil, when they are full grown, become retrospective. Not only this valley, but all their earthly past will have been heaven to those who are saved. Not only the twilight in that town, but all their life on earth too, will then be seen by the damned to have been hell. That is what mortals misunderstand. They say of some temporal suffering, no future bliss can make up for it, not knowing that heaven, once attained, will work backwards and turn even that agony into a glory. And of some sinful pleasure they say, let me have but this, and I'll take the consequences, little dreaming how damnation will spread back and back into their past and contaminate the pleasure of the sin. Look, he said, you can't really wrap your head around the ultimate reality from where you're standing. It's like someone who peeks through a door into a timeless dimension. They can't bring back a coherent report. But you can get a glimpse of it if you understand this. Both good and evil, when they reach their final form, redefine the past. For those who find true peace, their entire life on earth, not just the good parts, will have been the beginning of heaven. But for those who are truly lost, their whole life, not just the moments of despair, will be seen as hell. That's the part people get wrong. They go through some awful trauma and say, no amount of future happiness could ever make up for this, because they don't realize that heaven, once you get there, will work backwards and transform that very agony into part of your triumph. And on the flip side, they chase some fleeting, toxic pleasure thinking, I'll just have this one thing and accept the consequences. They have no clue how that final emptiness will creep back through time, poisoning the memory of that moment until it was never a pleasure at all. This process starts long before we die. A good person's past begins to realign itself, so their forgiven mistakes and painful memories start to take on the quality of heaven. A bad person's past just becomes a reflection of their own negativity, already filled with a sense of empty resentment. And that's why, when it's all said and done, when the sun rises for some and the final lights go out for others, the ones who are saved will say, we've never been anywhere but heaven. And the ones who are lost will say, we were always in hell, and both will be telling the truth. Isn't that incredibly harsh? I'm talking about the essence of what they'll feel. The actual words the lost use will be different, of course. One will say he was always a patriot, right or wrong. Another that she sacrificed everything for her career. Some will brag that they were never anyone's fool, and others that they always looked out for number one. And almost all of them will say, at least I was true to myself. And the saved? Ah, the saved. What happens to them is the opposite of a mirage. What felt like a valley of misery when they were in it, they'll look back and see was actually a source of life. And where their immediate experience saw only a barren desert, their memory will truthfully show them that the pools were full of water all along. So, are those people right who say heaven and hell are just states of mind? Careful, he said sharply. Don't be glib. Hell is a state of mind. You've never said anything more true. Any state of mind, left to its own devices, any time a person locks themselves in the prison of their own head, that is eventually hell. But heaven is not a state of mind. Heaven is reality itself. Everything that is fully and truly real is heavenly. In the end, everything that can be shaken will be, and only the unshakable remains. But what about a real choice after death? My Catholic friends would be surprised. They believe souls in purgatory are already saved, and my Protestant friends wouldn't like it either. They say you die and that's that. Your fate is sealed. Maybe they're both right. Don't stress about those kinds of questions. You can't understand how choice and time interact until you're outside of both. and you weren't brought here to figure out cosmic puzzles. What should concern you is this: what it means to be trapped in that state of mind where the craving just gets fiercer and fiercer. A person knows that path will never lead to joy, but they start to prefer the addiction itself over any possibility of joy. They would fight to the death to keep it. It's like they want to be able to scratch an itch. But even when they can't scratch anymore, they'd rather keep the itch than be healed.